to the whatever procession. Let's do it, kids.
Good evening. I am pleased to declare Quinnipiac University's 2018 commencement exercises for the School of Engineering officially open. Please stand for the national anthem and remain standing for the invocation. The national anthem, which will be performed by Savannah Giamarco, class of 2019.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Our invocation today will be delivered by Idris Awudu, Muslim Religious Life Coordinator.
Let's pray. In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful, we are gathered here to witness an important milestone for our graduates. We are thankful for this day, and we pray for favor, blessings, grace in carrying out these commencement to a successful end. In God's name we pray. Amen.
Please be seated. The platform party today includes trustees, university administrators and representatives, university clergy and deans, as well as our speaker and honorary degree recipients, whom you will meet shortly. It is now my honor to present Dr. John L. Leahy, President of Quinnipiac University, who will bring you greetings on behalf of the university.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to all of you on this joyous occasion. To our graduates, the class of 2018, I want to add a special welcome and my heartiest congratulations to each and every one of you. As you may know, this is my final graduating class, the class of 2018, and literally you graduates are literally the final graduates that I'll confer degrees on. But the good news is we've saved the best for last. Class of 2018, and in particular, I would add, our School of Engineering graduates, are among the best students that we've ever had at Quinnipiac University. And I dare say you're the best and the brightest in our 89-year history, and certainly my 31-year history as president of this university. So congratulations for all of your great accomplishments. Four years ago, this graduating class took a chance on us before Quinnipiac School of Engineering even existed. At the time, we had only 2 engineering rooms in Tater Hall and a small group of dedicated faculty. Today, the school is housed in the new state-of-the-art Center for Engineering, and the number of faculty has more than tripled. The class of 2018 is the first to graduate under the prestigious ABET accreditation, which was achieved thanks to the leadership of Dean Justin Kyle and our outstanding program directors and our outstanding engineering faculty. Your class has helped shape the School of Engineering, and during your years here, you have made all of us very proud. Today's graduates won numerous important competitions, including the ASEE Northeast Section Undergraduate Poster Competition, Grace Hopper Conference Scholarships, representing women's largest gathering of women technologists, and first prize at the CCSC Northeast Regional College Programming Competition. Many of today's graduates have left an indelible mark through their impactful senior design projects. The design of a mobile arms support device, the redesign of the Gilbert Avenue Bridge over Wilmot Brook in Hamden, the development of a QU Weather Service website, which unfortunately we had to put to good use this past week, the redesign of the perfusion simulator for our School of Health Sciences, the YMCA Youth Camp space utilization and camper flow improvement, and the public speaking simulator, a Microsoft HoloLens application. This class has also excelled academically, and 6 of tonight's graduates will receive awards honoring them for their outstanding success in the classroom. As you look back on all of your accomplishments, I'm sure that you'll agree with me that you would not be graduating today if it were not for the help and support of 2 very important groups, the faculty here at Quinnipiac and your families. So graduates, please rise and express your appreciation to the faculty seated in front of you and your family and friends seated behind you. Please rise and express your appreciation. Class of 2018, you have certainly left your mark on Quinnipiac University, and for that we thank you. And I predict you will leave an even greater mark on the world that awaits you. Congratulations and best wishes to each and every one of you.
As Dean of the School of Engineering, it is my privilege to address you today on behalf of the faculty and staff. Of course, I have to follow President Leahy, and that always makes things tougher, but we'll do our best. First, the faculty and staff and I would like to congratulate all of today's degree recipients. We would also like to congratulate all of the family and friends who have supported these wonderful students on their journey. As our students know, we start every class with a list of objectives for the day. I felt it's fitting their last day as undergraduates, I have objectives for today's speech. That is to remind you of how far you have come and let you know the great potential you have in front of you. To remind you of how far you come, I ask you to think back to freshman orientation 4 long years ago, where many of you sat with me in a hot room in Tater Hall and we talked about your future. Specifically that day, we talked about what you should expect at Quinnipiac. And the other thing we talked about was the fact that you had the potential to succeed. All you needed to do was define what success meant for you and work for it. Those expectations that I laid out for you consisted of 4 simple things. The first, you're going to work hard. The second, you're going to learn a lot. Third, we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. And lastly, that you will meet a lot of interesting people. Well, I do know you worked very hard. Your presence here today clearly demonstrates the efforts you have put into these last 4 years. One of the best parts of my job is listening to your senior design projects, and it became very clear to me that you even outperformed how we thought you would, and have learned much, much more than we ever thought possible. I truly hope you enjoyed your time with us. We very much enjoyed getting to know all of you. I know you have met many interesting people, as you are an interesting, accomplished, and very special group of individuals. None of you started in the School of Engineering. We didn't create that till your junior year. However, you have all served as a force in creating our school's culture and community. You have been adventurous as you helped establish student organizations, become the first QU interns at many companies, formed competition teams, and were the first at QU to take the pledge of the computing professional and join the Order of the Engineer. Your mark on our school is unmistakable, and we look forward to benefiting from what you have helped us create. As we turn to the future, I see endless possibilities and look forward to watching you tackle the grand challenges of our world. These challenges range from re-engineering the brain, securing our safety, and redeveloping our infrastructure. As computer scientists and engineers, you will play a vital role in solving these problems and many others yet to be defined. We look forward to seeing you tackle these challenges and enhancing our world. The last thing I said to you at orientation 4 years ago was that we see engineering and computer science as a team sport, and welcome to the team. As some of you know, members of our team are recognized by the hard hat. We have that hard hat ceremony every January where we pass them out. Graduates, as you ponder what great things you will accomplish in your future, I suggest you consider one of our proud hard hat team members. Specifically think about what he has accomplished through defining success, continual learning, hard work, teamwork, and yes, having fun. Over 30 years ago, he started a new job, a small college in New England. With his focus and leadership, he took that small college from 2,000 to 10,000 students, tripled the number of campuses, and launched many outstanding new schools. The last, and in my opinion the best, being the School of Engineering. Of course, I speak of President Leahy. His leadership and drive is what's allowed us all to join the Quinnipiac University family. President Leahy, we are honored to be part of your final graduation ceremony. Graduates, it may be hard to believe, but once President Leahy sat in an auditorium like this, going through a ceremony like this. An undergraduate about to graduate, on the cusp of a wonderful future. I hope as you go forward, you set high goals like he did, and you succeed as much as he has. And keep in mind that you can do anything, and now that you have engineering and computer science degrees, you can do even more. It is bittersweet for the faculty and I to see our time together come to an end today. However, as you move forward to your next success, I ask that you remember those 4 simple things. Work hard, have fun, meet interesting people. Those are the things that will help you succeed. And always remember that you are part of our team. Once again, on behalf of the faculty and staff of the School of Engineering, I congratulate you on your accomplishments. Would Alexander Clark, Professor Christian Duncan, and President Leahy please come forward?
Alexander Clark, in America's pantheon of tech entrepreneurs and programmers, you have been quite a trendsetter. While many wait until college to begin developing their vision, you conceived your company Technolutions while still a junior high student in your native Mississippi. You continued to distinguish yourself as a freshman at Yale University. Instead of leaving college prematurely for a cramped garage and the promise of a big break, you used your alma mater as a testing ground for your company's flagship product, Slate, the world's first information management system developed exclusively for higher education. Since then, Slate has become the gold standard in college admissions software, relied upon by hundreds of colleges and universities the world over, while your Slate Innovation Summit draws thousands of industry experts each year. Throughout your business successes, you've been a fervent patron of the arts and education, co-founding the Slate School in North Haven, a progressive elementary school that seeks not only to teach, but to cultivate intellectual curiosity in students. In appreciation of your entrepreneurial spirit and for reminding us of the importance of creativity and imagination in all endeavors, we are pleased to confer upon you this honorary Doctor of Humane Letters this 20th day of May, 2018.
By the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations, Al.
Thank you so incredibly much. I want to first congratulate all of you. It's especially an honor to be a part of this ceremony for a new school, because starting new schools is something near and dear to my heart right now. Planning and zoning commissions are not always, or at least the process is not always near and dear to my heart, but it's an absolute delight to be starting something here. What I wanted to share is that what was the motivation behind starting an independent nature-based elementary school is that there is this love of lifelong learning. As you graduate here today, it's not that this process ends. There should be a hunger and thirst for always learning something new. As we see, the world is changing absolutely every day, and remaining curious and passionate about all that remains out there in the world is a fundamental value. And being nice to the world. It's something where being kind and considerate and saying always, how can I help my community? How can I help the larger world that's out there? You have wonderful skills, and putting those to use out there in the world will always be something very special. So thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your incredibly special day. So thank you.
Would Jonna Gherkin, Professor Mary Phillips Ho, and President Leahy please come forward?
Jonna Gherkin, your inspiring career path continues to motivate the many girls who are considering positions in the tech sector, and in particular, engineering. You joined the aviation and aerospace company Pratt & Whitney in the year 2000, and currently manage the Program Chief Manufacturing Engineering team, ensuring that customer requirements are met for manufacturing readiness and that design teams have the materials they need. For the past year, you served as president of the Society of Women Engineers, an international organization that strives to empower women to achieve their full potential in careers as engineers and leaders. You joined the Society as a freshman at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, where you studied industrial and manufacturing engineering, before going on to earn an MBA in technology development. As a mother of two, you observe that children are naturally curious and enjoy taking things apart only to put them back together. You endeavor to make sure that girls in particular never lose their knack for creative thinking and their thirst for curiosity. In recognition of your accomplishments in the science and engineering field and your willingness to be a leader in this STEM effort, Quinnipiac University is pleased to confer upon you an honorary degree of Humane Letters this 20th day of May, 2018.
By the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations, John.
At this time, I would like to introduce Jonna Gherkin, our commencement speaker.
Hey. Thank you, Dean Kyle, President Leahy, and the Board of Trustees for the honor and privilege of speaking with you today. When I was a freshman in college, about to embark on my journey as an engineering student, I heard an often repeated phrase that I don't know if anyone actually said. It's probably an urban legend, but it went something like this: look left, look right, one of you won't be there at graduation. If we can reflect on that for a moment, why would anyone say that to a bunch of engineering students? Was the curriculum really that hard? Did we not want everyone to succeed? Or were they just trying to get us to study? To some, that call was a challenge, one that they faced with the utmost tenacity. To others, it was a warning, one that made them doubt themselves and eroded their confidence. Maybe they noticed that they were different from their other classmates. Maybe they didn't have the support network to be successful. Seeing as you're all here today, I'm guessing you were in the former group with the challenge, but we're going to come back to that metaphor in a moment. Leaving a legacy of inclusion is the subject of these remarks. And by the time I'm finished, I hope that you understand not only what that means, but how you can use it to make a difference in the world around you. First, we'll start with what's a legacy. No, not those students whose parents had a family member who graduated here. I mean a real legacy, the one that you leave behind. There are legacies of brilliant inventors and scientists who left us with a wealth of information and discoveries that helped our world develop into what it is today. There are legacies of writers and journalists who opened our minds to the possibilities and sometimes tragedies which make us better humans. But I'm not talking about the legacies that bring you money or fame. I'm talking about our personal legacies, what we leave behind for our families, our friends, and our colleagues. Those are the legacies that I want to talk about. early in my career, I had a boss whose advice to me was leave a legacy. I was a little confused at the time because I was just an engineer in the department at the time, fairly new. He explained, though, that everyone can leave a part of themselves in any role that they have, no matter the size, something that makes the group, organization, or department that you're in just a little bit better. Maybe it's an improved process for designing a part. Maybe it's a faster procedure for testing. Regardless, the legacy you leave lives on for future users. So I thought and said, well, what can I do? I started with the department I was in and redesigned a manufacturing cell, taking input from the operators, the requirements for the mix of products, and a couple other factors involved. I completely reorganized the layout of the cell to function more efficiently with less inventory and better quality. And in the next role, I developed the framework for designing and developing a new product using a new material in one of our new jet engine applications. And in another role, I created the standard work and work instructions for employee health and safety training, including mistake proofing that kept the operators from performing roles they were not properly trained for. More recently, as you heard, I'm working on improving the process for evaluating manufacturing readiness for all of our engine components. That brings together all the disciplines and departments involved in designing and producing a quality part. It's about communication, aligning expectations, and making sure that everyone is accountable for the results. Over time, I have found out that I really do like developing new processes and technologies, which wasn't something I originally thought I'd be interested in when pursuing my industrial engineering degree. Because as an industrial engineer, I was planning to focus on product and process improvements, making them more efficient, not new ones that would be a permanent legacy in the departments that I touched. However, what I hope will be my most memorable legacy, aside from my 2 children, is as the past year as Society of Women Engineers president. For over 25 years, I've been a member of this amazing organization that has helped me grow as a leader, an engineer, and a human being. I have learned more than I have contributed and met so many outstanding women that have inspired me to do more. Every event I attend as president, I am reminded of the legacy that the organization already has from its over 60 years of history. It is the world's largest advocate for women in engineering technology, having just surpassed 40,000 members, and I'm glad to be a part of it. Legacies such as the introduction of new programs and services worldwide that enable women engineers and technologists to flourish wherever they are. The successful rollout of our revamped spring conferences, an exciting new program for girls in middle and high school that can join the society to learn about engineering careers as early as possible. Utilizing a variety of communication and learning methods to ensure all members can access content whenever and wherever they are. Awarding almost $800,000 in scholarships each year to deserving women pursuing engineering degrees. And providing meaningful leadership opportunities to our incredible volunteers for their career advancement needs. Which leads me to the topic of inclusion. Why is it important? If you design a consumer item, for example, using average male proportions, what about the half of the world of potential users that are female. If you create a product distributed around the world with instructions solely in English, are you including the 80% of potential customers who do not speak it? If you develop a product that relies on extensive hand-eye coordination, how are the almost 5 million people in the US with vision challenges going to be able to use it? And if you make decisions just on your own, how can you consider perspectives that are not yours? So let's talk about some examples that highlight the importance of diverse perspectives. They're all real, mostly, and many of you may have heard about them before. But before you run off and do an internet search on the facts, I will admit they are a little bit embellished or modified to suit the purposes of the moral of these stories. But they're still good to remember as you embark on your engineering careers. First, we'll go back to the 1960s and the space race. Both the US and the Soviet Union were putting tons of time, effort, and money into getting the first human into space. A lot of new things needed to be invented, developed, and tested for use in low-gravity orbit. NASA worked for years and spent millions of dollars to create a pen that rode in space. It was an engineering marvel, and folks all over the US scrambled to get their own space pen for themselves. Because of course there's loads of things that need to be documented in space. But at the same time, the Soviet Union was doing the same thing with a little different perspective. What did they ask their cosmonauts to write with in low-gravity orbit? A pencil. Before you all start sending me hate mail about that's not really what happens, because I know, but what did it make you think? Did it make you think about the end goal? Who is going to use the product? What are its basic requirements? Did you once think about whether the users were male or female? About their race or ethnicity? Probably not, because that's not relevant to the intended use of the product. But consider this. For those of you growing up in the 60s and the 70s, you might remember the rise of a particular compact car, and the car companies released a lot of new models. There was one in particular by the Chevrolet company. They were eager to gain share in this market. So they introduced the Chevy Nova. Anybody remember that one? Well, for those of you who speak Spanish, what does Nova mean? Right? Doesn't go, or won't go, don't go. So now you have a car who means don't go. So do you think that the sales in our Spanish-speaking countries were really good? Do you think that maybe a quick check on a translation would have been helpful? I know that Google Translate wasn't around, but... So actually, we in SWE went through a similar check recently as we rebranded the organization from the Society of Women Engineers to just SWE, S-W-E. We wanted to make sure we weren't going the same path as the Chevy Nova, especially when we were increasing our presence globally. So what we found so far is that other than sharing an abbreviation with the country of Sweden, which is probably not a bad thing, we're going to be okay for now. And finally, another auto-related example. I believe everyone is familiar with the function and purpose of crash test dummies, right? They have been invaluable in improving the safety of our cars and trucks, as well as influencing safety requirements throughout the world. However, the first dummy models in the 1950s were based on male proportions only. It was only in the early 2000s, 50 years later, that a family of dummies was developed and used for testing, And then finally, a pregnant female was finally added. This expansion of the range of bodies included in testing has improved our overall understanding of the effects of vehicle crashes on more passengers than ever before, and acknowledges that men aren't the only drivers. You see that an engineered object, process, whatever, doesn't know anything about the person who designed or developed it. That's the beauty of engineering. Anyone can engineer anything, and the product doesn't care. The issues only arise when the engineers themselves aren't fully diverse or inclusive. They can't see all the perspectives, can't appreciate the differences in all of us that make our thoughts unique and results in a better product. However, inclusivity is more than just saying it. It's the actions you take to make the folks around you feel like their opinion matters. Their perspective is important. Visible diversity is important because you can see it, but that's not all that matters. Diversity in age, education, socioeconomic background, religion, physical ability, all of those make us the unique individuals that we are. Teams in our current workplaces have to become high-functioning problem solvers very quickly in today's fast-paced environments. And having everyone on the team able to contribute equally to capture all perspectives gets you the results faster and usually with better solutions for all customers and stakeholders. So now I hope you see how the two items both tie together, legacy and inclusion. You should start your careers knowing that you can leave a legacy wherever you are and whatever role you have, all while striving to be as inclusive as possible. So at your upcoming orientation for your new job or graduate school, I will challenge you to look left, look right, and say to yourself, how can I ensure that all three of us are here in the future being active contributors to the organization and leaving a positive legacy of inclusion? Thank you.
Thank you, Jonah, for those outstanding remarks. Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science from the School of Engineering please approach the stage? Marshals, please direct the candidates to the platform. Khalid Abu Ghazala. Daniel Augustino. Reed Arnold. Laura M. Bakioki. Alexander Baez. Timothy Christopher Bai Rossi. Ashlyn Taylor Blake. Lucas Maxwell Brenner. Brian Christopher Carducci. Michael Sester. Peter A. Kramer. Nathaniel John Drisdale. Ryan Eck. Patrick Thomas Genovese. Patrick Genovese is the recipient of the Outstanding Achievement in Industrial Engineering Award. The award is given to the graduating outstanding senior in industrial engineering who excels in service, research, and academic achievements. Patrick is receiving this award for serving as the president of 2 student clubs, his academic research using simulation, volunteer work during Quinnipiac events, and hard work and completion of course in the 10 course projects as part of the industrial engineering degree, all while working for Constep. Congratulations, Patrick. Benjamin Christopher Gibson. Allison Gill. Emily Elizabeth Green. Nicholas David Gabriel Griswold. Daniel J. Holland. Ji-Suk Hun. Troy Andrew Engel. Ian Spencer Jacobs. Ian Jacobs is the recipient of the Outstanding Achievement in Computer Science Award. This award is presented to the Outstanding Computer Science Senior in recognition of academic excellence and student leadership. Ian maintained a high level of achievement throughout his academic career, even managing to finish a semester early. In addition to his academic success, Ian served as president of the Quinnipiac Computing Club and was a frequent and welcomed volunteer at many campus events, serving as a model representative of the department, school, and university. Congratulations, Ian. Janine Rose J. Javon Johnson. Mason Carter Johnson. George Karagiouris. George is the recipient of the Outstanding Achievement in Software Engineering. This award is presented to the Outstanding Software Engineering Senior in recognition of academic excellence and student leadership. George has maintained his high level of academic achievement while completing a second major in biology. In addition, George has represented Quinnipiac at external events and competition and has been on the winning team for both the CT Tech Challenge and the Consortium of Computing Sciences in College's Northeast Region College Programming Competition. Congratulations, George. Samuel Connor Keenan. Thomas Joseph Kimley II. Kayla Williams Curtin. Christopher Charles Kozier. Alexander Joseph Levin. Shannon Carthree McCaffrey. Shannon McCaffrey is the recipient of the Outstanding Achievement in Civil Engineering Award. This award is presented to the Outstanding Civil Engineering Senior in recognition of academic excellence and student leadership. Shannon is receiving this award for her academic achievements and her leadership as president of the newly founded Women in Engineering Club. This club hosted several significant events this year and is poised to make a great impact in the coming year. Congratulations, Shannon. Jacob Samuel Mealy. Jacob is the recipient of the Outstanding Achievement in Mechanical Engineering Award. This award is presented to the Outstanding Mechanical Engineering Senior in recognition of academic excellence and student leadership. Jake is receiving this award for his academic excellence in the mechanical engineering program and his service to the program and to the School of Engineering as the president of SLATE, Service Learning Applications of Technology and Engineering. Congratulations, Jake. Raymond James Nias. Raymond of Ringwood, New Jersey, is the recipient of the Alumni Association Academic Achievement Award. This award is made possible by the Alumni Association National Board of Governors in honor of the student from each of the undergraduate schools who has attained the highest scholastic standing. One of Raymond's notable accomplishments was the creation of a portable mobile arm support for people with hemiparesis. Completion of this major design was done in conjunction with other engineering students, occupational therapy graduate students, and his professors. Congratulations, Raymond. Julian Lee Papazian. James Patrick Phillip. Daniel Keller Pieper. Nicholas Zachary Pinero. Christopher David Reynolds. Andrew James Russell. Dylan O. Sicordi. Matuish Michael Shinar. Eric M. Terrell. William Adam Fatali, Jr. Jake Edward Vlachik. Tabitha Ida Wanamaker. Christian Alec Woodford. Matthew David Zaski. Vladislav Zadir. I ask the candidates to please rise. Mr. President, I have the honor to present from the School of Engineering candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science.
By the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Science with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations to all of you.
It is my privilege to introduce our student speaker, Janine Rose J. Janine is a software engineering major from Old Greenwich, Connecticut.
Thank you, Dean Kyle, President Leahy, and members of the Platform Party. It's an incredible honor to speak here today. Figuring out what to say has been puzzling, and not just because this is the first English assignment that I've had in 3 years, but because who am I to speak to you about what we've all done here or what we will do after graduation? After all, it was only last week that we were handing in our capstone projects. There's a phenomenon in the world today that is experienced by most but realized by few, called the imposter syndrome. For those who haven't heard of it, the imposter syndrome is a concept that describes individuals who are marked by an inability to recognize their accomplishments and have a constant fear of being exposed as a fraud. In layman's terms, it is when we do not see what we are capable of and believe ourselves to be scraping by, hoping that others don't notice that we have no idea what we're doing. As a student in the School of Engineering, I face this problem every day. My classmates appeared to be brilliant at calculus, at understanding the professor the first time they explained something, and at coming up with ingenious solutions to unfathomable problems. And here I was just trying to figure out the answer in number 6. However, now when we look around, we can take comfort in the fact that we're not imposters. And if you still feel like one, I'm here to tell you, you're not. We've reached this point where we have walked across the stage to confirm that we have the knowledge and training necessary to resolve the obstacles of the world. Families, take pride in all the hard work your graduates have completed. They're capable of some extraordinary things. My fellow peers, we did not just finish this prestigious and rigorous curriculum, we've excelled far beyond that, reaching every corner of this university. Collectively, we've led clubs, sports teams, student government, and volunteer units. Name some organization on campus, and we can name a peer that's changed it for the better. We've not only been members of these organizations, but we've created these organizations. We take an array of students and an idea and forge things that are new, exciting, and impactful. We now have the tool set and ability to go solve some of the world's greatest problems. It is us as engineers and computer scientists that will move past the typical 9-to-5, clock in, clock out, onto solving some of the grand challenges in our field, such as creating the tools of scientific discovery or reverse engineering the brain. It is us that will help those that are waiting for someone to remedy their problem. And I'm not just talking about the students staying up throughout the night in the lab to finish their problem sets. We now face some new challenges. We're being handed a world full of insurmountable roadblocks that no one has found a solution for. This may seem impossible and frustrating, but it'll be okay, because I know my peers and we're not imposters. We've gone from freshmen with potential to graduates with years of growth and success to prove that we can take any problem head on. In the future, there'll be moments of defeat and moments of frustration and moments of staring into your cup of coffee, reflecting back on all you've done to get where you are. But fret not. That's simply life, and we have the ability and ambitions to turn our wildest ideas into reality. Besides, if we can make it through this degree, what can't we handle? So thank you, families, for supporting us through it all. Thank you, professors, for teaching us everything we know. Thank you, classmates, for helping each other get here. Thank you to Quinnipiac for bringing all of these pieces together. And congratulations to my fellow class of 2018.
I now introduce Bob Cariangelo, Quinnipiac alumnus, to officially welcome our graduates as alumni.
Okay, it's that time. Graduates, please rise. I'm Bob Carangelo, and I'm a proud Quinnipiac graduate from the class of '79. As you may know, that was a few years before Quinnipiac had an engineering program. Not only did my professors here help me become a very successful engineer, but they gave me the confidence to think for myself and take chances. Thinking for yourself and taking chances. Those two qualities aren't the only things you'll need, but I know they helped me go a long way. In a moment, I will ask you to move your tassels from the right to the left side of your cap. This simple act signifies your transition from student to alumnus and the continuation of your unique, meaningful, and lifelong relationship with Quinnipiac. I truly believe my connection with the past by continually to support Quinnipiac is also my connection with the future through bright people like you. And so, it's my privilege to extend my congratulations and to welcome you as fellow alumni and members of the Quinnipiac Alumni Association. Graduates, please move your tassels.
Before I reintroduce Idris Awudu, who will deliver the benediction, I have a few announcements. Only the platform party and faculty will recess out. We ask the graduates to go to the area behind the stage for a class photo. Families and guests, we ask that you give your graduate a few moments to have their photo taken before you meet up with them. We also ask that you either remain in your seats or go directly to the reception at the Rocky Top Student Center next door while we accommodate a few moments for a class photo. Transportation to the Rocky Top Student Center for those needing assistance is available. Once outside, you will see signs on the left. Please stand. It is now my privilege to ask Idris Awudu, Muslim Religious Life Coordinator, to please come forward and deliver the benediction.
Congratulations, graduates. We are grateful for a successful event, and we are indeed proud of the achievement of our graduates whose accomplishments would not have been possible without the financial and emotional support of your parents. Also be thankful for the kind tutelage, mentorship, advice, encouragement from your professors, the university administration, colleagues, and everyone who has been involved in these achievements. Graduates, be a beacon of hope, a source of change, and the bearers of truth. Be a bobcat in every sense of it. Be vivacious, altruistic, positive, kind, and consistent as you enter the world. Remember, it's always better to light a candle than curse the darkness, so that the knowledge you have gained will be a blessing to you, your families, and all of mankind. In God's name we pray. Amen.